Jesus Christ. Dear friends, James Guarini tells this story. A rather famous painting shows a young man playing chess with the devil. They are playing for possession of the young man's soul. The painting portrays the devil as having just made a brilliant move. Chess players who study the arrangement of the chess pieces in the painting feel immediate sympathy for the young man, for he has been put in a hopeless situation. He has been led down a blind alley with no exit. Paul Murphy, a former world-class chess player, became intrigued by the painting. One day, while studying the arrangement of the chess pieces, he saw something that no one else did. Excitedly, he cried out to the young man in the painting and said, "Don't give up. You still have an excellent move left. There is still hope." Dear friends, that story fits beautifully with the point Jesus makes in the parable of the fig tree in today's gospel. Like the young man in the painting, the fig tree seems hopelessly lost. It is about to be cut down, then suddenly a ray of hope breaks through. Like the young man in the painting, the fig tree is not doomed after all. It gets a last-minute reprieve, it gets a last-minute second chance. The story of the young man in the painting and Jesus' parable of the fig tree in the gospel contains an important message for us. The message is, because of Jesus Christ, we are never doomed, no matter how bad things seem. This sounds very simple, and you have heard it many times. But if this really sinks into you and becomes a part of the way you believe, it can be, if needed, a tremendous inner strength and help for you. Because of Jesus Christ, we are never doomed, no matter how bad things seem. Because of Jesus Christ, there's still hope for us, no matter what the situation we find ourselves in. Because of Jesus Christ, there's always one more move left to make, no matter how late in the game it is. Because of Jesus Christ, I refuse to believe anyone who tells me differently. Because of Jesus Christ, I'm constantly reminded to practice myself mercy and forgiveness, kindness and humility. And I'm constantly reminded that I'm not supposed to judge or to condemn anyone. As said, because of Christ, there's always one more move left to make, no matter how late in the game it is. A true story will help to illustrate this point more concretely. A young woman named Teresa decided to leave the church. When asked why she was leaving, she said the reasons are too numerous to mention, until she didn't mention anything. Anyway, after having been unchurched for about 4 years, she was still terribly unhappy. Then one day, a young man whom she knew well was killed in a car accident. She decided to go to his funeral, which was in the church she used to attend. Describing the impact the funeral had on her, she said, "I was unexpectedly overwhelmed by the white-wrapped casket as it was brought into the church. The explanation of the pastor that this white covering symbolized this man's baptism into Jesus Christ seemed to awaken me from a long, dreamless sleep. I questioned for the first time in a long time my decision to leave all this behind. I was beginning to realize how much God loves us and how important it might be for me to live within this faith community. To make a long story short, the grace of God touched Teresa at the funeral. And like the fig tree in Jesus' parable, and like the young man in the painting, she was given a second chance. She concluded saying, "That was over a year ago. In that time, God has renewed me and healed my life in so many ways. The Spirit of truth has shown me the wholeness of the church and the path of my spiritual wholeness through it. I found all this the second time around." Dear friends, this brings us to the most important point of all. How does all of this apply to our lives in a practical way? All of us, to some extent, are like the young man in the painting, like the fig tree in Jesus' parable, and like the women in the story. All of us, at one time or another, have arrived at a point in life when it seemed that we were in a no-win situation. Perhaps some of us are at such a point right now in our lives. Perhaps some situation threatens to engulf us and overwhelm us. Perhaps some relationship threatens to destroy everything we believe in. Perhaps some problem has led us down a blind alley that seems to be a dead end. It is right here that today's gospel has an important message for us. Because of Jesus Christ, we are never doomed, no matter how bad things seem. Because of Jesus Christ, we always have one more move left. Because of Jesus Christ, there's still hope for us, no matter what the situation. This is a lesson that is contained in today's scripture. This is the good news we celebrate in today's service. This is a message that God wants us to carry back into our world. As you know, to carry back into our world what we have heard in church is something I like to stress constantly, because all the listening and Bible studying is more or less in vain if we are not going to apply it to our daily lives. If we don't want to carry the message back into our world, to the place where we live, work, and interact with people, it is useless to come and to listen and to study the Bible. What we believe needs to be applied in our daily lives. Because of Jesus, we are never doomed, no matter how bad things seem. That should encourage us all our life, and that should enable us to be merciful and forgiving, and to give people who failed a second chance. That's all I want to share with you today. Give people a second chance. Be merciful as Christ is to us. Needless to say, that makes a difference. Just do it and enjoy it. Amen. May God's peace, which is far beyond human understanding, keep your hearts and minds safe in union with Christ Jesus. Amen. Let us now sing all together while we collect our offering.